Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. After a little long hiatus, I am back again with the new novel, Jane Austen's novel, Pride and Prejudice. Today, our lecture bases on Jane Austen's understanding of the novel and her attributes regarding writing the novels. Her biographical sketch says that she was born on December 16, 1775 in England, and the county where she was born was Hampshire. Her education from home, actually her education was from her home, started from her home, because her father was a highly ecclesiastical person, a highly religious person, and her religious education was inculcated by her father. And it was because of her father's effort that her taste for reading started. Although she read a lot of books other than religions, we say that she produced, whatever she produced in writings was up to the mark, was really remarkable, and was remembered by the posterity. Although she produced a little number of novels, just 6 novels in her lifespan, she wrote a number of fragmented pieces, a number of novels, stories, which remained incomplete in her life. The 6 of her novels are written here towards the end of the first paragraph. These are Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Northanger Abbey, and Persuasion. In the preceding lines of the last line, we find that the first name, the initial name of Pride and Prejudice was First Impressions. Later it was renamed as Pride and Prejudice, though this novel was published after her death posthumously. But if the critics analyze, we find that Pride and Prejudice is the creation in which Jane Austen's attributes, Jane Austen's fort comes to the fore fully. For example, we find the next features. In these features, we see that her art of characterization is quite important. Most of the critics say that her art of characterization, her fort of characterization, is most important feature to notice. We read here, Jane Austen holds an undisputed mastery of characterization. Her technique of characterization is dramatic. Okay? We find the dramatic elements in her novels, in her characters. In drama, we find suspense, soliloquy, etc. So these characters are found in these characters. Characteristics are found in these characters as well. Edwin Muir says, a critic says, her characters influence events, they create difficulties, and later, in different circumstances, dissolve them. ओके, उर्दू में ट्रांसलेट कर दूं, उसके जो कैरेक्टर्स हैं इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं इवेंट्स पर, यानी कैरेक्टर्स की टाइप ही ऐसी उसने डाली है, और उनका जो ड्रामेटिक वे है वो ऐसा है कि वो इवेंट्स पर असरअंदाज होते हैं, ना कि इवेंट्स असरअंदाज हों कैरेक्टर्स पर. दे क्रिएट डिफ़िकल्टीज़ एंड लेटर, डिफ़िकल्टीज़ क्रिएट करते हैं और बाद में क्या होता है, इन डिफरेंट सर्कमस्टांसेस डिज़ोल्व दैम, वो उनको डिज़ोल्व कर लेते हैं, उनको रिजॉल्व कर लेते हैं या तहलील कर देते हैं. दिस वॉज द first characteristic, first feature that we discussed here. The second feature is her limited range. whatever she wrote, uh, the number of novels, all the number of novels she wrote, she confined herself to the limited range. She did not discuss high sounding themes and variety of themes as well. She just took up the family matters and wrote them and showed them in novel form. Just 2 or 3 families she considers enough to write the stories on. In Pride and Prejudice, we see the limited range in her themes, but also in her plot construction. Okay, themes में भी और plot construction में भी, यानी different stories को इकट्ठे मिला दें. जैसे बिंगले सिस्टर्स हैं, बैनर सिस्टर्स हैं, तो वो बैनर सिस्टर्स और बिंगले सिस्टर्स ये डिफरेंट प्लॉट से कंबाइन होके आते हैं और फिर एक ही स्ट्रैंड में चलते चले जाते हैं. दिस इज द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ अ सीजन्ड नॉवेलिस्ट. Walter Scott observes, Walter Scott, a critic, Jane Austen confines herself to the middle classes of society. Okay, हम यहाँ पे मिडिल क्लास सोसाइटी के अलावा और नहीं देखते कुछ. Her most distinguished characters do not rise above well-bred ladies and gentlemen. यानी उसके जो बेहतरीन कैरेक्टर्स हैं, प्रोमिनेंट कैरेक्टर्स हैं, वो एक वेल ब्रेड लेडीज़ और जेंटलमैन है, इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं. वेल ब्रेड का मतलब अफ्लुएंट, वेल्दी, दौलतमंद. अच्छा, ये जी 2 कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, these 2 characteristics we have discussed just now, and now the third characteristic is irony and satire as well. Jane Austen's way of writing the novel is ironical. She exposes the foibles and flaws of the society to show the picture to the society, to it. And the most important is that she show the picture to be a moralist, to rectify those foibles. She wrote the satirical novels. Pride and Prejudice is one of them. Pride and Prejudice abounds in ironical statements. Abounds में भरी पड़ी है, बहुत सारी ironical statements से full है. Even the novel begins with the witty cum ironical statement. Witty as well as ironical. Cum means as well as. यहाँ तक के novel जो शुरू होता है यही Pride and Prejudice, वो witty भी है, यानी अक्लमंदाना statements हैं, और ironical भी हैं. और जो इसका आगाज़ होता है मिसेस बैने के witty cum ironical statement से, वो ये है: It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. Means वो कहती है कि ये जो यूनिवर्सली एक्नॉलेज्ड फैक्ट है, ट्रूथ है, क्या कि जो शख्स इस दुनिया में बहुत दौलतमंद होगा, गुड फॉर्चून होगी, पर्क्स होंगे, वो ज़रूर वाइफ उसको ट्रैप करके रहेगी. वाइफ यानी एक खातून उसको चाहेगी कि वो उसके पास आ जाए. और हम देखते हैं कि हम फाइंड करते हैं कि प्राइड एंड प्रेजुडिस इसी पर ही बेस करता है. हम कंक्लूड करते हैं. कंक्लूजन इज़ बिफोर यू. Jane Austen produced 6 complete novels. She was not lost in history because of the small number of novels. यानी अपनी 42 years just life में उसको वो हिस्ट्री में गुम नहीं होगी, उसको याद किया जाता है. The characteristics of her novels are prominent enough to etch her name in chronology. यानी ये उसके 6 novels ही काफ़ी हैं कि उसका नाम फिक्स कर दें वक़ाए तारीख़ में. Thank you very much, students. Allah Hafiz.